Welcome to the lair. Woo! Happy Halloween, everybody. In the spirit of my late great-grandfather, not great-grandfather, but grandfather, who used to have a talking pumpkin out on his stoop in Cheshire when I was a kid. I've created a little ambiance here on Halloween nights as the ghosts and goblins and all the monsters are out on a very short but eventful high school football Halloween weekend. Crazy weather. We had the remnants of Melissa come through, and it was a windy, rainy day today. So let's get you kind of caught up with just concluded down over at Municipal Stadium. Waterbury Career Academy loses its first game of the season, 19-15 to Holy Cross football. Holy Cross. Great job by the Crusaders. They needed that win so bad, and they win it 19-15 to defeat the Spartans, who started the season 6-0. They dropped to 6-1. They're still fine, but it's 19-15. Holy Cross wins. Crazy game out there. I'm going to give you a quick recap on it. Kevin Roberts was there for us. It was a pretty tight game early, but after 7-7 halftime, their quarterback, Brady Lombardo, throws a 19-yard touchdown pass to Deshaun Graves to give the Crusaders the lead for good with 9:52 remaining in the third quarter. And then they had Isaiah Rivera had a punt block touchdown, 19-13, put them up. And, and then that was they had a safety. So 19-15, your final. Unbelievable job by Holy Cross. They absolutely needed that one, but good job. So that was at Municipal Stadium. The game I was at today was a classic, an absolute classic. I've seen far too many of these games this year. Thankfully, didn't go to overtime. But New Britain, 21 points down in the first quarter, rallies to defeat Maloney. They only allowed 7 points the rest of the way. They rallied all the way back. Jaden Allen had the winning 49-yard touchdown run, and it was a great one. Got a great block from his teammate. We'll see plenty of that in the days to come. But great block by his lead blocker, and then sprinted the other way, kind of on a bum ankle. He was kind of hurt all game, and he didn't finish the game, but they didn't need him. They didn't need him to. The guy stepped up, and New Britain with a big win over Maloney, 30-28. Maloney led with about they took the lead late. It was 28-24. New Britain could not make an extra point or a conversion, but they needed that last touchdown. Maloney with 28-30. So they win that game, New Britain. Great job. Jaden Allen kind of had to be carried off the field because he was really hurting after that game. Plays both ways for them, and a really nice job. And we'll have a reel up on that soon. We'll talk about it on the meat grind. But that was a big win for New Britain. Elsewhere in the CCC, Glastonbury was a tight game early, but they pull away. Castilla had a few touchdown runs, pull away to defeat Hall 27-7. Windsor just absolutely crushes Simsbury 64-0. In the CTC, Prince Tech with a 6-0 win over Bullard Havens. In that game, we don't have anything from Valley Panther, the Quinnebog Valley. Don't get me started on their nickname, but the Plainfield Quinnebog Valley. That's Ellis Tech, Turtelot, and what was the other one? And Putnam. Their co-op at Moffel. We don't have a score on that yet. It was a 6 o'clock game. In the ECC, lots of games going on out there. Fitch defeated Waterford. That's a huge win for Fitch. They were 3-3, and Waterford coming off their upset loss to Woodstock Academy by a point. They needed to win that game too, and otherwise they're going to be scratching and clawing for the playoffs. Right now, Fitch defeat them 26-7, and on the other, just down up the road a bit, Killingly in the battle. Griswold Wheeler was only 5-1. They had a great season to date. Hadn't lost since week 1. Killingly 60, Griswold Wheeler 13 in that game. No word on New London and Wyndham. We mentioned Holy Cross WCA in the NVL. Holy Cross wins 19-15. And in the Pequot Secaucus, Capital Prep gets its first win of the season in a battle of winless teams. Capital Prep defeats MSW 16-7 at Old Saybrook. So MSW remains winless right now. Capital Prep 16-7 defeats MSW. On the other side, we don't see anybody, no result yet from Stafford East Winter Summers versus SMSA. We don't have that one. But let's go right to the SEC. For the first time since 1998, Amity defeats West Haven 21-0. Christian Luciano had 188 yards and 2 touchdowns. But the story out of the game, obviously, was the Amity defense holding West Haven to a second consecutive goose egg. The Westies now dropped below 500, 3-4. Amity needed that one bad because they got a really tough schedule coming up. So that was down at Ken Strong Stadium. That was Amity's first. I had to look back at it. Amity's first win over West Haven. They only played 7 times since they've been members, or 8 times since they've been members of the SEC or something like that. And Amity with a big win. We saw George French, talk about his line, the way they played, and the defense obviously were great. But Luciano did it, and Joey Puglisi had a touchdown run on a nice fake with a bootleg. I watched it from here at the home offices. But Amity defeats West Haven. That's really big for them. Also in the SEC, Fairfield Prep in just a absolute dog fight with North Haven. Just a defensive slugfest. North Haven had a 7-0 lead early in the third quarter. They didn't score again. Fairfield Prep had to respond. They get the tying touchdown, and then Mr. Automatic, Ben Cornelius, with the 25-yard field goal. They had a huge first down pickup pass throw by Rob Manning, and Fairfield Prep defeats North Haven 10-7. Here we are on Halloween night. Welcome if you haven't been here yet. Welcome. I haven't even been checking out what's going on, but what's going on, everybody? So let's see. We'll get the SWC scores out of the way, and then I'll see what's happening. I'm just kind of reading right now. Barlow absolutely demolishes. We were throwing dirt on Barlow's grave not too long ago. They lost 10-0 to Pomperaug. They've won 2 straight now. Barlow defeats New Milford 49-18. New Fairfield hangs on to defeat surging Pomperaug. Pomperaug obviously was that big win against Brantford last week, and New Fairfield was able to get the win there, 21-14. I think they were leading for most of the game. Pomperaug had a chance late to get back into it or to try and tie the score with 2 minutes left, but New Fairfield holds up there at windy Rebels Field. Also in the SWC, Newtown continues to just absolutely demolish the SWC opponents. 56-7 over Weston. And I also saw Benell score there a couple seconds ago. Let's go quickly take a look here. Benell defeated, where is it? Here it is. Benell defeated Bethel 42-0 to keep their comeback trail alive. I don't think they've lost since the New Canaan game, Benell. I believe. No, Newtown. They lost to Newtown, excuse me. So Benell keeps pace in the race right now. Let's see what else. So that was the SWC. Those are the SWC games. What else we got? I think that's basically all the games tonight. So I'm going to run it down real quick again. Oh wait, this is Thursday's games. I'll go back to that. But tonight, Glastonbury defeated Hall 27-7. New Britain defeated Maloney. Came back from 21 down to defeat Maloney. Jaden now with a big 49-yard touchdown run with 7 minutes left to win that game. 30-28 in CCC Tier 2. Windsor defeated Simsbury 64-0 in the CTC. Prince Tech beats Bullard Havens. Man, I thought Bullard Havens was going to have a better season than this. They have just been struggling, but Prince Tech defeats them 6-0. I'm going to see if there's any update on this other score here. Nothing yet. No. In the ECC, Fitch 26, Waterford 7. That's 2 straight losses for Waterford. Fitch needed that one. They had lost 2 straight. Killingly 60, Griswold. Nobody's touching Killingly. 60, Griswold Wheeler 13. New London Wyndham, we don't have a score for yet. In the NVL, the one I mentioned at the top, Holy Cross knocks off Waterbury Career Academy. First loss. Holy Cross absolutely needed that in their Class M race, 19-15. Capital Prep winning its first game, beating MSW 16-7. In the SEC, Amity 21, West Haven nothing in their first victory over the Westies since 1998. That was the only other time that they'd beaten. So the Spartans doing well, 21-0. Here's a new score. Here's a good score. Big one for Brantford. Here it is, 21-0 over Xavier down in Brantford. They needed that in the worst way because they had just been demolished the last week against Pomprog, and the Hornets desperately needed that win, and they got it. So that's big for them. And at Fairfield Prep, Ben Canales kicks a 25-yard field goal to defeat North Haven 10-7. And then lastly, the SWC, Benell 42, Bethel 0, Barlow 49, New Milford 18, New Fairfield 21, Pomprog 14, Newtown 56, Weston 7. So anyway, that is those are the scores from tonight. A lot of guys out there. I saw a lot of people at my game up at the Falcon Field, an absolute classic. A lot of people were leaving early because they had to get home to start trick-or-treating with their kids. We saw a lot of that. We did not have a lot of games tonight. We had a lot of games yesterday. Well, not a ton of games yesterday. We had games on Wednesday. We had games on Thursday, but not many because it was just pouring rain out. So, let's quickly look at that from Thursday. Here are some of the games from there. Weathersfield defeated Farmington 12-0. Rocky Hill defeated Tolland 27-6. Berlin defeated Enfield in a monsoon 24-8. Manchester defeated Connor 34-14. Ledger defeated East Lyme 46-7. Danbury with a big win over Norwalk. Our guy Pete was there. He's not here tonight. He's taking a nice break. He got soaked. Danbury 31, Norwalk 6. So the Hatters still on the trail, the Class double L playoff berth. It would be their first playoff berth. Well, first playoff berth since 2003. I think Glenn Morning, he was on the team then. Anyway, Ridgefield 35, McMahon 0. Torrington 48, Wilby 8. Woodland 68, Wolcott 0. Lyman Hall 44, Amistad zip. And the SEC, Cheshire 35, Hillhouse 6. Law 24, Shelton 14, Sheehan 42, Harding 2. And then finally, Massac. It was an interesting game there. They were up big. Stratford tried to make a game, got within a score, maybe 2 scores. But Massac defeats Stratford in the rain down at Pendersfield 34-6. And on Wednesday night, we had Southington 48, Platt 14. Cromwell, Portland 42, Haddam Killingworth 21. And the game I went to, which is another classic, 37. Ellington 37, Granby Canton 35. They also came back from a 21-0 deficit. So this week I've seen 2 teams come back from a 21-0 deficit to win. That's New Britain was the other one. So that's basically all that's going on in CIAC football land. Tomorrow, lots of games that got moved off of Thursday or Friday. And I'm going to run those down for you now. Tomorrow, they have this East Hartford Central game listed at 9 a.m. I highly doubt that game's at 9 a.m. I think on the list, someone might know, but I think on the list, they have their buses leaving at 12. I think the buses leave at 9, and they kick off at 12, but what do I know? It still says 9 a.m. on the CIAC site. So, guys, you got to get your times right. CCC also, Bristol Eastern tomorrow, they play Ram at Ram noon. Newington is at E.O. Smith at 2 o'clock. And in the lower CCC Tier 4, Avon at Northwest Catholic at 10:30 a.m. Bloomfield at East Catholic. That's a big one. They're both 4-2? Yeah, they're both 4-2. And East Catholic had a rough start, and they're trying to get back. And so did Bloomfield. They were 0-2 to start the season. They've won 4 straight, and that's a really big game. Joey Montalvo's, closing in on some records. Elsewhere tomorrow, Lewis Mills, Wolcott Tech is at Plainville, 3 o'clock, and Middletown is at South Windsor at 3 o'clock. So all you people who want to know a Middletown score, that is when they're playing. They're playing tomorrow at 3 o'clock. So get up, go get yourself a spiced pumpkin latte or something. It's 1st of November. Say rabbit, rabbit, all that stuff. And head out to South Windsor to see the Dragons play. But South Windsor has been on a little bit of a roll, too. Middletown hasn't lost yet. I'm correct here. I got to I don't have all my points in front of me, but that's what's going on in the CCC tomorrow. In the CTC, you have Vinyl Goodwin Tech at Thames River, 12:30. O'Brien Tech at ATI at 1 o'clock. Wilcox Caner, which has had a great season, is at Platt Tech at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. I think Platt plays at Foreign. I believe that's where they're going to be. So that's 6 o'clock. In the ECC, one game left. NFA is at Woodstock Academy at noon. In the FCAC, lots going on. Wilton is at 4-1 Fairfield Ward, or 2. Are they 2? Oh man, you know what? I'm just gonna pull up these rankings here because I don't have them. What's Ward? Ward is 4-2, and Wilton is leading the Class MM division. They are 6-0. They are playing their game tomorrow at 12 at also noon. In the FCAC, also St. Joseph, the big one. St. Joseph is ranked 8. They are 4-2. They need every single win that they can get because they are in a fight in Class M. They are at Staples. A win over Staples, I don't want to say it would seal it for them, but would go a long way to helping their cause out. And Staples is 5-1. They only lost to who was it a couple weeks ago? Oh, Wilton. Wilton kind of beat them up. They did beat them up pretty badly. That's at 11 a.m. So get your spiced latte and head down to Westport if you want to see that game. Peepawaga will be at that game, getting his rest early. Also in the FCAC, West Hill looking to get its first win. They're at Bridgeport Central, which already has its first one. That's at 11 a.m. Greenwich, number 2, tied with Killingly. Greenwich is at Fairfield Ludlow, which is also 5-1 and hanging and doing great in the Class L rankings. I mean, Ludlow, even if they lose this game, they got St. Joseph, Staples, and Ward. So they have their work cut out for them, Ludlow. Greenwich looking for a bounce back game. We'll see how that one goes. Let's see here. Also, Trumbull is at Darien. Trumbull's 2-4, really struggling, but still a fight. They still have a shot. If they want to get their season together, beat Darien, it would go a long way in getting Class LL. We'll see. That's at Darien, 1:30. And winless Stanford is at undefeated New Canaan at 2 p.m. In the NVL tomorrow, we got Derby looking to go 3-0 against the Waterbury schools. That's at 10 a.m. up at, I believe it's at Municipal Stadium. Watertown is at Gilbert Northwestern. Housatonic at 1 p.m. And Seymour is at Kennedy at 7 p.m. In an alliance game, Nanawaga is just undefeated in the alliance. They're undefeated, period, but all they do is play alliance games because they're independent. Nanawaga takes on Cheney Tech at 6 p.m. In the Pequot, Weaver, Hartford Public Classical, great season so far. They played Valley Regional Old Line, which desperately needs to do some winning. They're in big trouble. Where are they, in S or double S? Let's see. And I believe it's hard to remember half the time, but I think they're an S. And they are, where are they? I can't find them all. Oh, there they are. Valley Regional is 4-2 and number 12 right now in Class S. I mean, this is still with games outstanding, so we'll see. But Weaver, Hartford Public Classical, the Hartford Co-op is having a great year. And also in the Pequot Uncas, Rockville plays Creek. Big game. We saw Eric Knickerbocker and his staff at the Ellington game on Wednesday night, and they say Creek is tough. They got a couple players there who can do a lot of big things. And Rockville undefeated. Creek already knocked off Ellington, so can they knock off visiting Rockville up in Enfield? That's at 11 a.m. Coventry takes on Windsor Locks in a stay out of the basement, even though Coventry beat Granby early in the season, which it's still unbelievable. Still can't figure that one out. But hey, they won that game, but it's still Windsor Locks and them have been really struggling in the Pequot get anything going. And that game is at 1 p.m. In the SCC, Bassick is at Wilbur Cross. Wilbur Cross is winless. Bassick got their 2 wins. Can Wilbur Cross break their losing skid? That's at 10:30 a.m. over here, just down the road from me, at the Barbarita Marone Complex, 10:30 a.m. East Haven at Handman, a couple other struggling teams. That is at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then Notre Dame West Haven, which has got its sights on Class LL playoff berth amazingly. They take on Foreign at noon. in Milford. And then finally, Notre Dame Prep tomorrow night needs a win badly. They have lost 2 straight, but so does Brookfield. They play a Brookfield team. They just kind of they were close with Newtown. It was 7-0 at halftime, but then Newtown, lots of Nick Pavia, and they had the pooch kick to kind of get the kickoff to kind of get things going. And Notre Dame Prep lost to Nonawag, and they all earlier they also lost to who was it? Weston, obviously Weston, who haven't won since, but that was a big win for Weston at the time. And Notre Dame Prep now takes on Brookfield. Both teams really desperately need to win because they're starting to fall back in the playoff race. And then finally Sunday we got Oxford at Ansonia at noon. So those are the games going. That's the week 8 schedule. It's a weird one. It's an absolutely weird one, but that is what's going on in CIC land. So an eventful night. Obviously, North Haven loses again. Fairfield Prep kicks a field goal to beat them. I saw New Britain beating Maloney, coming back from 21 down to beat them. That was a big win. So lots happening here, even on this Halloween night, and it was a gorgeous one. Once the wind died down, it was really crazy out there. And I think a part of the reason why New Britain had so much trouble is because they won the kickoff, they won the coin toss, but then they decided to defend with Maloney going into the wind to start. So they fell behind early because they couldn't get any offense going into that. It was just up to 25, and there might have been gusts going to 30 something miles an hour. It was cold, and well, it wasn't cold, but it was windy and kind of played havoc with a lot of plans of the coaches, but they were able to get it together and win. So that was a big one for New Britain, which I'm going to look at some of the standings here quick. I mean, again, these are not final standings for the weeks, but right now New Britain's doing really well. It's those top 4 in the Class LL playoffs right now is they're pretty much all set. I would think Fairfield Prep, Staples, Greenwich, New Britain. I think if we did the math, and I'm not doing the math until another week or so, but I would think that those teams have been clinched because Glastonbury, it goes Prep, Staples, Greenwich, New Britain. Even if Greenwich or Staples loses tomorrow, it goes right off a cliff after that. It goes Glastonbury, they're 4-3. Southern Union's 4-3. Danbury's 4-3. NFA's 3-3, hoping to win and keep their playoff hopes alive. And West Haven has dropped out. They're 3-4. Trumbull, Notre Dame, West Haven still creeping in there. Lots of points on the table in Class LL. So I mean, that's kind of like basically it. Like, I'm not going to go through all the playoff points right now. You can look at CIC right now. Once all the games come in on Saturday, you'll have a much better picture where people stand as we head into November. Tomorrow's November 1st. So happy Halloween and all that good stuff. Sorry, I'm not dressed up. I got a little mood lighting here. So, and Pete decided to take the night off. So it's a well-deserved one. So that's basically what's all from here right now. That's the drive home. I don't know. I mean, I don't see a lot of comments here. If anyone wants to leave a comment, be my guest. But I have a reel to finish and lots of other little things to do. So I think I'm going to call that a night. Lots of stuff going on. It's really fun. People will be back for the meat grinder on Monday. And away we go. He'll also be at Staples versus St. Joe tomorrow morning. So say hi to him if you're at that game. Should be a doozy. It's a busy day tomorrow in high school football. So if you don't get out to many games or you already played, go check out some of these opponents. Go check out some of these teams. It's a lot different watching it live than it is watching it on a huddle or a stream. So hope to see a lot of people out there this weekend. And away we go. So I think we'll call that a wrap for the Halloween episode of the Drive Home Show. Let me give you one. I'll only go one more time through the scores. Just one more time. I know Danny's like, why are you doing this? Here we go. This is what happened tonight. Glastonbury defeated Hall 27-7. New Britain down 21-0. Rallied to beat Maloney 30-28. Windsor crushed Simsbury 64-0. Prince Tech defeated Bullard Havens 6-0. Oh, crazy. Let me just see the result that was. I'm going to move down. Here it is. Still nothing from Plainfield, Quinnebog versus Montville, but in the ECC, Fitch defeated Waterford 26-7. Killingly defeated Griswold Wheeler 60-13. Nothing from New London Wyndham still. Holy Cross knocked off Waterbury Career Academy in 1915. Capital Prep ended its long losing streak, and Morgan, Old Saybrook, Westbrook continues their losing streak. 16-7 Capital Prep wins. In the SEC, Amity defeats West Haven for the first time since 1998, 21-0. Brantford off the deck after a couple tough losses, 21-0 over Xavier. And Fairfield Prep, Mr. Automatic, Ben Canelius kicked a 25-yard field goal to defeat North Haven. That's their third straight loss, North Haven, 10-7. In the SWC, Benell took care of Bethel, 42-0. Barlow defeated New Milford, 49-18. New Fairfield, 21. Pomprog, 14. Nice SWC battle there. Our guy Scott Erickson was at that one. And then finally, Newtown 56, Weston 7. So, and then a busy schedule on Saturday. So, thanks for joining us here at the drive home. We'll get Pete back for the meat grinder. And happy Halloween. And don't let those ghouls, ghosts, and goblins get you. And if they don't get you, make sure you lay off the candy, dads. Please. I know the kids got their bag there. Resist the urge to start picking at it at night. But other than that, it's been a pleasure. Great week of football. Still plenty ahead. We'll see you very soon. Thanks.